The C8 Corvette car market has absolutely cratered over the last 12 months, and in today's video we are going to find out the current status of the Corvette marketplace and pricing around the C8 Corvette. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the vlog. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day. We are back with a new video talking about the marketplace update of the C8 Corvette. Over the last couple months, I've seen a few videos around the marketplace and the pricing situation of the C8 Corvette, and I've seen a lot of people take onesie twosies from cars and bids and bring a trailer and try to make videos around the Corvette marketplace, but I thought I'd take some time to go a step further and reach out to some of my contacts at dealerships to get wholesale market data to be able to speak accurately to the current situation of the C8 Corvette. It's no secret that the whole car market has come down substantially, but I think based on this data, the C8 Corvette's depreciation and value loss has slightly outpaced the overall car market for a host of different reasons. So let's break down all of the analytics. I am a number nerd, so these kinds of videos are very interesting to me, and I hope you guys find this video informative and helpful as well in your C8 Corvette journey. If you do enjoy this video, definitely go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button if you want regular updates around the C8 Corvette and the car marketplace, and leave a comment down below on if you found this video helpful and informative, and if so, I will try to do regular updates of similar data to help consumers make an educated decision on their vehicle purchase. There's a lot of numbers and a lot of ground I want to cover in today's video, and like all my videos, I don't like to pad them, I don't like to fluff them, I don't like to beat around the bush, I like to dive right into the content, so without wasting any more time, let's dive right into today's video. So first things first, let's establish a little bit of a baseline. The whole car market deal situation is more of a sliding equation than a fixed set of values. I think many consumers that buy Corvettes are mature car buyers that know this already, but for those that aren't, there's three real areas of pricing that factor into the equation of car prices. First thing is retail. That's the cars.com and Auto Trader. Those are the numbers that you see on dealer websites. This is what the value of the car is from a retail perspective to the retail consumer. This is a number that the dealer is effectively listing the car for. Next up, you have trade-in numbers. Now, trade-in numbers are a little bit more nuanced because you could be taking a $75,000 TRX and trading it in for a $200,000 McLaren where the dealer has a $20,000 price window, so they may go a little bit higher in the range of your trade-in to lock up a deal, whereas if you're trading a $75,000 TRX for a $30,000 Camry with a $3,000 price margin, then the dealer is probably going to go on the lower end of the TRX trade spectrum because they have less room to play. And so when I see videos breaking down Corvette pricing, sharing retail numbers or trade numbers as data, I think those numbers are a little bit skewed and have too much variation to give a true understanding of the Corvette marketplace. And I'm using the TRX as an example just because I'm working deals for the TRX that I have, but this applies to really any cars or any trade scenarios because it is a sliding equation in which the dealer, the consumer, and the bank potentially backing the car loan for the next purchase all have to walk away with numbers that they're comfortable with, and that can vary based on the condition of the deal. To gauge the accurate measure of the true value of cars and the trends in the car market, I prefer to use wholesale numbers, and wholesale is companies like Manheim and ACV. These are wholesale auctions in which large volume of cars move through their auction lines, and they aggregate a bunch of data that helps dictate what the price situation is for that particular car to the dealer and the wholesale buyer to effectively determine what the real market value for the car is. And so this is kind of your three layers of pricing in the automotive spectrum. Cars and bids and bring a trailer, we can drop them in right here. They're kind of like in the middle of retail and trade-in because ultimately it's a private transaction where the seller is looking to get a little bit more than trade-in and the buyer is looking to get a little bit less than retail. And so those auction sites, from my experience, typically tend to fall somewhere between retail and trade, and depending on the market condition, the car, the interest, the timing, can kind of range from being closer to retail or closer to trade-in. So now that we've established this baseline, let's go ahead and take a look at some wholesale numbers on the C8 Corvette. I do want to give a huge shout out to my dealer contact for making some of this information available to us. This is exclusive dealer data, so not everybody has access to this data, but I'm able to present some of it to everybody here on the channel today. And I can slice and dice this data from 2020 to 2023 Corvettes, from 1LT to 3LT to coupes to convertibles, but the trends are relatively similar. So I'm going to do 1LTs and 3LTs from 2020 and 2023 to showcase how steep the Corvette market collapse has been so far over the last year. As you can see from this graphic I've put together, the 2020 1LT coupe last year had an average wholesale price of $81,400, and over the last 30 days, the wholesale trade for a 1LT 2020 coupe is down to $64,500, which is a substantial, nearly $17,000 price drop in the wholesale trading window of a 2020 1LT. And if we compare that to a 2023 1LT, we were seeing $84,800. It's important to know the mileage is very low because a year ago 2023s were very new. But now with 4,000 miles being the average last 30-day odometer reading, 71,800 is the going wholesale for a 2023 1LT. And now these numbers do have range, but unlike trade-in and retail, which was what other people base their videos of market analysis on, which can fluctuate between a whole host of things outside the specific car, this really only has room to fluctuate between the range of pricing for a 1LT, whether it's a base 1LT or a highly optioned 1LT Z51. Outside of that, there aren't a ton of factors introducing fluctuation within these metrics, which is why I think this is a true, honest read of the Corvette marketplace. And some useful information here over the next month. Wholesale analytical data projects that the C8 Corvette from 2020 will see another $2,000 of a price drop, whereas the 2023 is going to hold roughly steady, which makes sense because 2024 is a slow rollout. So 2023 is the closest to the current model year in terms of market saturation. Moving on to the 3LT, which gives you an idea of a fully loaded car. 1 year ago, a 2023 LT was wholesaling for about $84,000. Now over the last 30 days, wholesale on a 3LT 2020 is about $76,000. That's still almost a $12,000 wholesale pricing difference from last year to this year, which equates to about a 15% value drop. And if you look at a 2023 3LT coupe, last year with low mileage was $103,000 was the going wholesale for cars that went through auction, whereas now this year you're seeing $85,900, which is a whopping $18,000 disparity from last year to this year, which is a pretty substantial value loss. But these numbers do kind of make sense to what we've seen in the retail market. C8 Corvettes were selling for over MSRP about a year ago, so you could go to a dealership, you could buy a car at MSRP, and then turn around and sell it for $4,000 or $5,000 more, which is why the wholesale numbers were inflated last year, whereas now with the overall car market coming down, as well as the demand for the C8 Corvette dropping substantially, you're seeing a huge decline in C8 Corvette prices. And so what does that mean for the average Corvette consumer? Well, first things first, do not pay over MSRP for a C8 Corvette. There's a lot of misinformation going around that these cars still fetch over MSRP, and the only people paying over MSRP at this point are uninformed buyers. One group that I've found on Facebook that I strongly recommend everybody joining and checking out, it's very well run, there's a lot of good leads you can get on a C8 Stingray if you are in the market for one, is the C8 Corvettes at less than MSRP. Go ahead and check them out. I will link them in the description below. They're a great source for getting leads on C8 Corvettes, and I've actually seen a few Corvettes in this group over the last week that have been listed by dealers brand new for below MSRP. Yes, there are dealers out there trying to move C8 Corvettes at below MSRP because that's how substantial the market drop-off has been for the C8 Corvette over the last several months. And so what is the reason for this drop-off? As mentioned real quick, it is the drop in demand for the C8 Corvette. It is the increase in interest rates. It is the increase in the total production volume of C8 Corvettes in the marketplace. They built 55,000 C8 Corvettes for 2023, roughly. I don't have the exact number in front of me, but that is a record number of C8 Corvettes. And between that market saturation, the high carrying costs of interest, and the demand drop-off as buyers are moving to other vehicles, say the Z06 or waiting for the E-Ray in my situation, this has all led to a massive drop in the C8 Corvette. And my heart goes out to anybody that spent $10,000 or $20,000 over MSRP, because not only is all that ADM lost, but now the vehicle is depreciating to well below MSRP, which is not a great place to be as a car buyer. And so I thought it'd be fun to do a cool little exercise. These wholesale sites allow dealers to plug in a VIN number, plug in a few brief details, and then it will pull in all the information about the car and give them a wholesale number for a car. It gives them a range saying the car is worth anywhere from this to this number, which is their wholesale range, as well as an estimated retail value. These are the numbers that dealers use to really gauge your trade-in. This is the reason why KBB and NADA, from my experience, has been truly inaccurate in what dealers have actually been offering, because most dealers base their trade-in values based on wholesale numbers. And so if you bought a 2023 Corvette today, how much would you lose driving off the lot? Well, I took the VIN number of a current brand new C8 Corvette with a $97,000 MSRP. This is a 2LT convertible. So I took the VIN number and some details around this car, sent it to my dealer contact, and they sent me back what the wholesale auction analytics tells them this car is worth today in trade-in. And as you can see here, the range is $85,000 to $91,000. And again, depending on what I'm buying from the dealership, this is kind of the range window that the dealer prefers to work in. I would stand to lose anywhere from $7,000 to about $12,000 taking a brand new 2LT $97,000 MSRP car and driving it off the lot. So the dealer can then take that car, turn around, and put it out there for a retail value of about $94,000, $95,000, which makes sense because there are so many C8 Corvettes available at MSRP that a used car is probably a few $1,000s below MSRP for a low mileage 2023. And so take this back to a year ago when you could have gone and bought any C8 Corvette at MSRP, driven around for a little while, and then sold it for what you paid or more. Now you have to make the conscious decision of buying a C8 Corvette knowing you're driving off the dealer lot, losing anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000 in value to own that car, which is realistic to what the car market was pre-pandemic. Now, I will say this particular example is a fully loaded 2LT. I think 1LTs or really low spec 3LTs are holding their value the best. The base cars for sure, no doubt, are doing the best in terms of value retention if you get them at MSRP. But like I said, it's a slider based on the condition of the deal that dictates pricing more than anything else. So there you have it. There's an in-depth breakdown of some analytic wholesale numbers that give you an idea about the current state of the C8 Corvette. These numbers are a lot more helpful. This breakdown is a lot more helpful than some cars and bids and bring a trailer auctions, because those numbers are isolated to individual cases based on a very small sample size, whereas these wholesale auctions move hundreds and hundreds of these particular cars a day, if not tens and thousands of cars over the course of a month, of all makes and models. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a big old thumbs up. If you do want to see more videos like this, leave a comment in the comment section down below. I will gladly make this a routine on the channel if enough people find this informative and helpful. Be sure to share this video with all your friends and family and fellow Corvette enthusiasts. And until the very next video, I look forward to seeing all of you in the comment section below.